Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Connecticut Department of Transportation and the town of Salisbury, I would like to welcome you all for attending this public informational meeting for State Project number 121-136, Rehabilitation of Bridge number 05200, Salmon Kill Road over Salmon Creek, located in the town of Salisbury. My name is Preeti Bardwaj, and I am the project manager. We appreciate your willingness to participate in this forum virtually, and we hope that you will find this meeting both interesting and informative. I would now like to go over the format and agenda for tonight's meeting. I will explain how you will be able to interact with the project team. I will also explain how this project is being funded in the Federal Local Bridge DMS or Design Managed by the State program. This will be followed by some welcoming remarks by the town of Salisbury. I will then introduce the project design team, and that includes the department's front office leadership, the department's bridge consultant design team, and our consultant liaison engineer team. This will be followed with a technical presentation of the design, which will include the condition of the existing structure, purpose and need for the project, and the recommended design solution, which has progressed to a 30% design completion. As part of the department's public outreach program, it is at this point that we are now reaching out to you, the public, while it is still early in the design process, to receive any comments and concerns and answer any questions that you may have. And lastly, we will have a live question and answer session. I will now explain how you will be able to interact with the project team. There are three means of how you will be able to communicate this evening. The first is by email, which is dot-flbp@ct.gov. Again, I will also spell that out. It is dot-flbp@ct.gov. The second method is by telephone, and the phone number is 860-944-1111. Again, that number is 860-944-1111. Or you can also choose to communicate by chat on the MS Teams live event chat. In this format, you can ask a question by clicking on the little question mark, which shows Q&A. This will bring up your live event Q&A field. Select the Ask a Question button at the bottom right screen and a field will pop up. And you can type your question and hit either enter with a little arrow button to send, or you can also check the box on the bottom to post your question anonymously if you prefer. There will be a slight delay, but eventually your question will appear in the featured section with all other questions that are asked tonight. The project email, phone, and chat will be screened by the project team during the Q&A session, and the questions asked by any of these methods will be posted to the MS Teams Q&A chat window. The questions will be asked out loud for the project team to answer. You can ask questions at any time during the presentation, but we will answer these questions during the live Q&A session that follows. We also have a project webpage link where the recording of tonight's entire presentation, including the Q&A session, will be stored. The webpage will also contain the same information that I have previously explained on how to provide comments and ask questions. And that project webpage is portal.ct.gov/DOT Salisbury 121-136. And again, I will spell that out. It is portal.ct.gov/DOT Salisbury 121-136. 136. And lastly, please remember that the comment period to ask questions or to provide comments will be open through August 26, 2021. So if you think of a question after tonight's meeting or want to expand on a question that was asked tonight, you will have until August 26th to do so. The MS Teams chat function is only available during tonight's live Q&A session.
If you are viewing through Microsoft Teams, you can post a question or comment by clicking the little question mark to the top right of the presentation window and clicking the My Questions tab or the Ask a Question button. You then have an option to enter your name and type your question into the Ask a Question field. Click the checkbox to post anonymously, then click the double arrow or hit Enter to post a question. Click Featured to view announcements and attendee questions. You may experience a delay before your own sent question is posted. You can exit the questions window by clicking X and can return to it at any time by clicking the Show Q&A question mark. Click the My Questions tab to post another question or hit X to close the window again. To maximize the presentation window, click the arrow to the bottom right of the presentation window and click the arrow again to reduce the window size.
We would greatly appreciate it if you could fill out a brief survey that the department has through SurveyMonkey. The virtual public informational meeting platform is still a relatively new one for the department, and this survey will help the department improve these public meetings going forward. There's also a civil rights flyer available. Both the links to the survey and civil rights flyer are located on the previously mentioned project webpage. And lastly, I am required to read the following statement as part of the Title VI Civil Rights Act, and that is, no person shall, on the basis of race, color, or national origin, be excluded from participation or subject to discrimination in the development of this project. I would now like to explain how this project is being funded. This bridge is a town-owned bridge and is being funded under the department's federal local bridge program. Traditionally in this program, the town selects a designer, and because federal funds are involved, the department provides administrative oversight because the department is considered to be stewards of those federal funds. The funding is traditionally 80% federal and 20% town for the design, rights-of-way, and construction phases of the project. However, this project is going to be funded under the department's DMS, or Design Managed by the State program. In this program, it will be the department who will be performing the design on behalf of the municipality, utilizing our consultant liaison engineers, or CLE, who in this case are Close, Jensen, and Miller. Close, Jensen, and Miller has completed the 30% preliminary design, and it will be brought to final design completion by one of our pre-selected task-based designers. In addition, the design phase only will now be funded with 80% federal and 20% state funds, so the entire design phase is at zero cost to the town of Salisbury. Although the 30% design was performed by the department, it was in full partnership and coordination with the town of Salisbury. We held several meetings with the town and diligently worked together to incorporate most of the town's comments and concerns. And now we are reaching out to you, the community, to also weigh in. The initiative behind the DMS program was to expedite design delivery for municipal projects. The DMS program uses a streamlined design approach in which we are able to utilize full departmental resources and are able to internally perform design tasks concurrently rather than linearly. In this program, we are able to cut down the typical design time by a half and bring these projects to construction quicker which is enabling the department's goal to keep our town bridges in a perennial state of good repair. The department is pleased to be able to offer this program to the town of Salisbury. The DMS program is spending your municipal and state tax dollars both efficiently and effectively, and at the same time fostering great working relationships with our municipal partners. And with that, I'll now hand it over to Mr. Curtis Rand from the town of Salisbury for a few opening remarks.
Hello and good evening, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Curtis Rand. I'm the first selectman in Salisbury. As you may know, the Connecticut DOT every 2 years inspects bridges for defects, and the Salmon Kill Bridge was flagged as one in our town needing repairs. We knew the bridge needed to be rehabilitated, and we were looking for the most efficient way to proceed and stay within the guidelines of the allocated bond money. Traditionally, we would have selected and hired a consultant to develop the design, and they would be responsible for navigating through the design process, with the town covering 20% of the design costs. As Preeti mentioned, the DOT offered the DMS program, design managed by the state, and we felt that it was a good thing for the town since the state pre-selected consultants and would have better knowledge with the design process, resulting in both an earlier completion of design and construction, not to mention cost savings to the town. We started meeting with the state in the spring of 2018 to get an understanding of how the program worked and how it may benefit the town. After several more meetings with the state, the town recognized that this program would be a good joint effort, and we agreed to go forward with it. They have kept us in the loop at all aspects, and they've provided technical alternatives, recommendations, and they have informed us that the town will be making the final decision on all aspects. The process has been followed diligently, and we thank the department for partnering with us on fixing our infrastructure.
I would now like to introduce the project team. I am Preeti Bhardwaj, the project manager. To my left are the department's front office leadership, which includes Mr. Bart Sweeney, Division Chief of Bridges, and Mr. Louis Bacho, Principal Engineer. To my right is Mr. James Barrows, Project Engineer. The consultant liaison engineers who have brought this project to 30% design completion are Close Jensen and Miller. And from CJM, we have Mr. Mike Brady, Project Manager, and Ms. Danielle Foucher, Senior Engineer. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally ready to present our technical portion of the presentation, and you will be hearing a lot of bridge lingo throughout the presentation. Therefore, I am about to give you a 2-minute crash course on some of the structural elements on a bridge and the numerical condition rating system assigned on a bridge. On the diagram shown, the deck, as shown here, is the riding surface of the bridge. The parapets, or sometimes bridges can also have an open rail system, help prevent errant vehicles from going off the bridge. The beams, or the girders, are the supporting structural elements on the bridge and are designed to support vehicular loads, the self-weight of the bridge, and any environmental loads such as wind, seismic, etc. The parapets, the deck, and the beams or girders are what makes up the superstructure of a bridge. The abutments and wing walls are the end supports of the bridge, and piers, if there are any, are the intermediate supports. The abutments, wing walls, and piers make up the substructure of a bridge. The substructure not only supports the superstructure, but also helps in transmitting loads from the superstructure down to the bridge foundations. All state bridges and town bridges over 20 feet in length are inspected every 2 years by the department's Bridge Safety and Evaluation Unit and are assigned a condition rating on the major elements on a scale of 1 through 9. 9 being excellent condition and 1 being imminent failure condition. When a major bridge element reaches a 4 or poor condition, that is when we start to initiate a project to address the structural deficiencies. Now that you are armed with basic bridge knowledge, I would now like to introduce Ms. Danielle Foucher from Close Jensen and Miller, who will be presenting the technical portion of the presentation.
Thank you, Pretty. Good evening, everyone. I am Danielle Foucher with Close Jensen and Miller, and I will be presenting the project 121-136 Bridge 5200, which is Salmon Kill Road over Salmon Creek in Salisbury, Connecticut. The project site is located approximately a half a mile east of State Route 112, or Lime Rock Road, in the town of Salisbury. Here is an aerial view of the project site. As you can see, the bridge is located within a rural area, and there are driveways located on both the southeast and southwest corners of the bridge. The existing bridge was constructed in 2002 and consists of a precast, pre-stressed concrete deck unit superstructure supported by reinforced concrete abutments. The structure has an overall length of 51 feet and a curb-to-curb width of 26 feet. The current ADT is 538 vehicles per day per the last inspection report. I also want to mention that the westbound lane has been closed since January of 2020 due to the condition of the bridge. The existing deck is in good condition with a rating of a 7. At each deck end, there are transverse cracks up to 3.5 inches wide with signs of active leakage on the superstructure below. The existing deck unit superstructure is in poor condition with a rating of a 4. The bearing pads have potential to be severely undermined, as you can see in the photo. Also, there are signs of active leakage not only at the deck ends, but also at the joints between the existing beams. The existing substructure is in serious condition with a rating of a 3. The east abutment has a total of 260 square feet of severe scale, spalling, and hollow areas. As you can see in the photos, the abutment seat has an average of 15 inches of deterioration, exposing the front face of bearings 1 through 10, or beams 1 through 5 out of 7. Here are a few more photos of the deterioration of the east abutment. Based on the most recent inspection report, the scour rating was reported as an 8. This rating was based on the 2002 scour report that assumed that both abutments were founded on bedrock. However, after conducting borings, it was determined that the east abutment was located approximately 8.5 feet above bedrock. Therefore, there are some scour concerns associated with this bridge. The proposed project will consist of a superstructure replacement with a partial substructure replacement. The proposed superstructure will be comprised of precast, pre-stressed concrete deck units and supported by a new east abutment and wing walls. The new abutment and wing walls will be comprised of reinforced concrete and supported by micropiles. The existing west abutment cap will be reconstructed to support the new proposed superstructure, and the existing channel will be maintained. Shown here is a plan view of the project site. Shown in orange are the limits of the proposed bridge, and shown in yellow are the limits of the full depth roadway reconstruction. All construction activities will be performed within the existing right-of-way, shown in green, and defined easements, shown in purple. Here is a section view of the proposed superstructure, and as you can see, the deck will be super elevated due to the roadway curve on the east approach. The precast deck units will be topped with a 6-inch shear slab, new membrane waterproofing, and 3 inches of bituminous concrete. The roadway width will be maintained to accommodate an 11-foot travel lane, a 2-foot shoulder in each direction. The proposed bridge will have a new crash-tested bridge rail, similar to what is shown in the top photo. The color of the bridge rail will be determined by the town during final design. The proposed end blocks and substructure will be faced with a form liner to be consistent with the existing bridge. The picture on the bottom right is an example of one type of form liner that can be used. However, those details will be determined by the town during final design. Here's a proposed roadway profile, and as you can see, the increase will be approximately 6 inches due to the addition of the new shear slab. The only utilities found within the project site are overhead utilities. CJM will coordinate with all utility companies, and all relocations will be done prior to the start of construction so that there are no delays. A detour will be utilized during the duration of construction that will be in effect for approximately 6 to 8 months. The detour route will be about 5 miles and utilize both state and local roads. Access to all adjacent properties will be maintained throughout construction, and all EMS, school buses, postal services, and all other town services will be informed of the detour at least 2 weeks in advance. This project is anticipated to start in the spring of 2023 with a construction duration of approximately 6 months. CJM is working with the town, the department, and the designer to accelerate the design phase and move this project into construction as early as the summer of 2022. This project will be funded with 80% federal funds and 20% municipal funds. The total cost of the project is anticipated to be $2.3 million, which would make the municipal share around $478,000.
Thank you, Danielle, and that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our technical portion of the presentation. I would like to thank everyone on my design team and everyone behind the scenes who helped put this live event together. We are going to leave the Q&A session information on the screen for your benefit, and we will be answering any questions that came in during the presentation and answer any questions that will come in during this live Q&A session. Once again, we would like to remind everyone to please visit the project website to participate in the survey pertaining to tonight's event, or ask additional questions or view project plans and information. For those of you listening on the phone, the project website is again portal.ct.gov/DOT Salisbury 121-136. So with that, we are now going to start the live question and answer session. We will take as many questions as we can. Feel free to use that chat feature or call in by phone. The phone number is again 860-944-1111, or by email. The address is again dotflbp@ct.gov. The comment period, again, for your information, is open until August 26, 2021.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we do have a few questions that came in, and I will start with the first question and I will read it out loud for our team to answer. The first question that came in is, where will the contractor place his equipment? Danielle from Close Jensen and Miller, would you please take this question?
Hi, Pretty. Yes, thank you. I'm Danielle from Close Jensen and Miller, and the contractor will be able to store his equipment in the roadway since we are utilizing a detour for this project. However, we do not anticipate impacting any of the adjacent properties, and the contractor will have to maintain access to all properties within the project area because there are 2 driveways, one on the southeast and one on the southwest corner, that will have to be open during construction.
Okay, thank you, Danielle. Next question, can stage construction be used instead? Danielle, will you please answer this question?
Yes. Stage construction cannot be used for this project because of the deterioration of that east abutment. So we have proposed a detour Also, I do want to mention that using stage construction can actually increase the duration of the project and also increase the cost. So we've decided to use a detour.
Thank you, Danielle. Next question. What color will the rail be? Danielle, can you please take this question?
Yes, we are proposing the bridge rail to be galvanized, so that will be a silver color, similar to what is out there today. However, if the town would like to utilize a different color, then we can figure that out during final design.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Will the form liner be the same color and pattern as what's out there now? Danielle, would you please take that question?
Yes, we are proposing to use the same pattern and color because we are keeping the west abutment. So in order to maintain the aesthetics of the bridge, we would like the existing west abutment to match the proposed form liner that will be used.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Danielle. We have another question. Can steel back timber guide rail still be used at the approaches? Danielle, would you please take that question?
Thank you. We are proposing to use the steel back timber guide rail on the approaches because we want to keep the aesthetics of the existing bridge. So yes, we do propose to use the steel back timber guide rail.
Okay, thank you, Danielle. It looks like we don't have any more questions, so I'm just going to give it another minute if the audience out there wants to think of anything else. So please, please don't hesitate to call in with a question. Again, the phone number is 860-944-1111. Or email us at dot-flbp@ct.gov. And while we're waiting for questions, I would just like to remind everyone again that that this whole recorded and it will be posted to YouTube following this event. The recording will also be made available on the link that's shown on the webpage. All right, it doesn't look like we are receiving any more questions. So I'm going to take this opportunity to start wrapping up. I would like to encourage you to take the survey in the link that's shown on the Teams chat box, or for those of you who are watching on YouTube, the survey is below the video. This would really help us improve this virtual meeting experience in the future. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the department and the town of Salisbury, we would like to thank you for joining us tonight, and we hope that you found this meeting informative and that we were able to answer all your questions. All of us on the design team and the town of Salisbury are always available to answer any questions, even outside of the comment period. We are also available to meet with you individually on the project site if you so desire. Thank you once again and have a wonderful evening.